What's up, guys? We are back with another video. Today I'm going to tell my fitness journey. I'm going to divide this fitness journey into different parts. I'm going to go over the injuries that I've overcome, the type of training styles that I've attempted, and the ups and downs that I've gone through. In this video, I'm going to talk about the injuries that I've faced and how I've overcame them. So first, let's start off with my very first injury that happened 2 years after I started working out. If you're new to the working out or have been working out for a while, you'll come to realize that you feel invincible. You get stronger, you get bigger, you feel like you're Superman. Somewhat it's true, because the stronger you get, the less susceptible you are to disease and injury because you are stronger. Your body has become much stronger. But the injuries that we usually face are not inflicted by others. It's usually inflicted on ourselves by our own selves. So us by us. This first injury that happened to me happened in my groin. So this is how it happened. I was doing a squat set and I was loading up heavier weight. I remember during this time period, I used to not warm up. I would just go straight to the squat rack or straight to the bench and just start pumping out reps. And I would think that this would be my warm up, when in reality I should have stretched a little, walked, got my blood flow going. As a result of not doing that, I popped something in my groin and it felt like a warm, bubbly feeling. And then I went to go run it off, but when I tried to high knee my knee, it hurt and I couldn't move it. Like every time I tried to lift it up, it would just hurt and pain, and I couldn't do all of the leg workouts that I could do. So I thought this would be over within a day and I would recover quick like I usually do. But it turns out that this lasted for 7 to 9 months, and this happened in the winter. During this time, I was preparing for an epic track season, another breakout year to follow up my first breakout year. So I was hoping that I would recover before the season, but it didn't. It did not happen. It only recovered to the point where I could run, but not for the pain to go away. So I could not progressively overload on my lifts and do a lot of strength training. I only did training to maintain my speed and strength, not to actually get better. As a result, my performance on the track stagnated. I did not get faster. I only got faster on the shorter sprints, but not my main event. Also, my mental health took a huge hit. Guys, when you're injured and your whole identity is based on working out and being fast, strong, and ripped, if that gets taken away from you, everything goes to crap. For me, I thought my life was over. I didn't contemplate on taking my own life, but I didn't know what to do with myself, because at this point, everything that I've done in regards to fitness was my identity. People knew me as the dude that worked out. For me to not be able to do that, I was just having not even a quarter life or midlife crisis. I would say a 1/10 life crisis, because I'm in my teens. Through time, one important lesson that I took away from my very first injury was to not tie your identity to a hobby. That's what I did, and that's why I was so depressed the very first time I faced a big injury. So from that point on, every time I've had an injury, I did not tie myself with working out. I went and got a job. I wanted to go do other things that would occupy my time, that would build my character and personality. My second injury was in the very last part of my high school career, and I injured my TFCC, which this was due to pride. So after I recovered from that first injury, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna warm up properly. But the one thing that I did not address was controlling my competitiveness. This competitiveness led me to injure my wrist because of a clumsy race. Let me explain. When we would do warm-up drills, I would take the warm-up drills at 100% intensity. The cool-down drills would be at 100% intensity, and the workout would be 110%. So I was always at the max, never taking a step back and actually, doing it how it's supposed to be. I only cared about winning, being first, not finishing last, setting the pace, and being the leader, which is good in a sense, but I needed to know when to insert my dominance and when to pull it out. This injury occurred because one of my teammates and I were competing in a preseason game, and the game was we had to run down the gym, touch the wall, and run back and touch the first wall that we started at. Essentially a mini race. So we both go off, reach the other wall at an equal time. So I'm assuming, oh man, he's at my level. I have to kick it up a notch. So I start turning on the gears, drop a shift, and disappear, and ran into the wall and barely edged him out. But that caused a big impact on my wrist because I put my wrist out to stop the braking force. And as a result, all that force was absorbed right here on this spot. And I remember having this weird warm feeling, just like I did with my groin, with my wrist. And I was thinking to myself, man, if I'm injured, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I was worried about being injured again for a long period of time. And as you could imagine, I was injured again. This time, I couldn't do any strength work regarding to my upper body. Well, I could do some, but I had to manipulate it. This is when I brought back calisthenics into my regimen because I was doing ring work. I was doing anything to not put pressure on my wrist. So throughout this time that I'm recovering from my wrist injury, the next lesson that I learned is to keep my pride and competitiveness in check. I don't always have to be the strongest or the fastest. What I need to be is a leader, a teammate, and show my strengths when I need to. Not all the time, because that's just overkill and nobody likes someone that's at 100% intensity constantly. You have to learn when to show different emotions, different energy, different vibes at certain times. I'm not going to go into a date ready to, do that. I need to warm up, slow talk, be chill, because if you come in at the wrong intensity, you're going to scare people away. And at the wrong intensity, you can get hurt. That's why my second lesson was keep my mind and pride in check. So then the third injury came, which is this one that I am doing right now. So it's been a few years since I've actually been injured. The years go by. I don't remember any serious injury in my first college years. If anything, I was under training and not pushing my body in a way that I could get injured. But now, in this last month, I re-injured the same wrists in the same spot, and this time it was due to another movement, was the not warming up. Guys, warming up is essential, even if it's for a walk or just doing this with your wrist or just swinging your legs around. You need to warm up. This injury was caused due to not warming up and just falling into a handstand push-up and diamond push-ups right away. I was not loosening my joints. And as a result, my wrist took a lot of beating. Also, I was not practicing the correct movement and positioning of my wrists when I was performing these calisthenic exercises. And with this injury, I've learned that I need to be patient. This is a long run game. A lot of these things that I'm trying to learn and master are going to take years, months, days, hours of practice. It's not going to happen overnight. As much as I want it to be overnight within the next month or next week, it's going to take a long time. So I have to be patient and let my body recover and adapt to all the stress that I put on it. Sometimes doing less is doing more. So relax, do enough to stimulate your body, but don't overkill it with high frequency, high intensity, and you're not even warmed up, okay? So that's it, guys. I've gone through some other injuries, minor injuries like cuts, bruises, sprains, but nothing that, changed my life. These 3 injuries that I mentioned really did change my life, that I had to reevaluate and change up my game plan in terms of maximizing my fitness potential. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you on the next one.